All right, guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the Let's Assess podcast. Today, we're super excited to have one of the homies on the podcast today, coming all the way from Minnesota, Mr. Marcus Lang. So we're going to talk to him. He's got to do some cool experiences over the past year, and we're going to dive into all that and kind of what he's up to in the snowmobile world. And that's what we're going to talk about this episode.
Look, I don't want to talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft.
All right, guys, welcome back to yet another episode. Like we said, we're going to dive right in with Marcus and kind of see how his experience went. It was a really cool experience he got to do. But first, we're just going to introduce him, kind of talk about his story, and then we'll dive into that later in the podcast. So, Marcus, introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name's Marcus Lang. I'm from Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. I'm out in Craig, Colorado now, helping AJ at Powderbound, so it should be a pretty good winter, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, so you started at Thunderstruck. Is that your first guiding place out here?
I did.
Yeah. And now you guys are doing your own expedition?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, once again, like, subscribe, follow, everything. But yeah, Marcus is one of the good friends I met when I was racing snowcross. I raced on his dad's snowcross team. And then he came out and guided at Thunderstruck. And that's, we kind of started mountain riding together then. And then that's when we got the idea to start Powderbound Adventures together.
So what are you excited for this winter? The snow's kind of absolute dog poop, but how has it been riding out here versus last year?
No, it started off slow. I mean, I got out here pretty late.
You didn't miss much.
I didn't miss much, no. I was kind of waiting until it snowed, and it finally snowed a little bit, and now it's just bone dry again, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's snowing right now outside, so hopefully this weekend becomes good. So the experience we were talking, or I mentioned before, so last year he got to, and I'll let him speak on it, but he basically got to go out to Chris Burandt's place, and it happened to be, right? It was just by chance that Kesterke was there. So he got to see two of the greats in action and speak a little bit about on that.
It was pretty neat riding with Caleb and Chris. I mean, two completely different riding styles.
Yeah.
Caleb's just rowdy, riles up through the trees, does a backflip, comes back down, does another backflip.
Yeah.
And Chris is just, he'll do a downhill turn, look up, gone.
Yeah.
And I mean,
would you say that like Chris is way more precise?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Chris is probably still one of the best riders in the backcountry.
Yeah. Speak on their terrain. We talked about that before the podcast, but.
Well, me being from Minnesota, I can't breathe out there at 12,000 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's.
Even Caleb looked like he was having a hard time in that video, and you were in the YouTube video.
He was huffing and puffing for sure, and he's in shape.
You were in good riding shape. Coming off of guide season, like you'd rode 80 days straight probably. Like you were in damn good shape too.
Yeah, but no, that little jump from 9,000 feet to 12, it really kicks the guy's butt.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, their terrain down there is second to none. You don't get anything like it. It's straight up, and it's all tree riding. No jumps, none of the stuff I like to do. That's why I went down there, though. I wanted to learn how to tree ride, and I think I'm a pretty decent tree rider now. So,
you think just a couple days on the snow made a huge difference?
I wouldn't say that. I think I had the skill, just not that steep of stuff.
Yeah, kind of gained your confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
Takes all the, like, you can't make an error. You have to execute probably, I bet.
Yep. Riding a 165 definitely helps down there.
Is that what you were on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went from like a 146 Ski-Doo, right? Isn't that what you were riding last year?
Yeah, I built a 146 last year, and that had some issues. So I was riding a Polaris most of the year after I blew the chain case out of my Gen 5.
Oh, yeah. Wait, the Gen 5 was a 55, right?
Yep.
Or 54.
Yep.
And then you had a Gen 4 that was a 146.
Yep, I custom built that one, and it was a riot when it ran.
Yeah. Yeah. So did it take you a while to get used to the Polaris?
Well,
or I guess you were on it for a long time, huh?
I was riding Polaris. Usually every day I guided, but I was pretty comfortable jumping between the two. So there wasn't really a whole lot of change that I had to go through to learn how to ride it, but kind of just comes natural riding that many days every year.
Yeah.
So everybody always talks about the snow down there. What was your experience with the snow down there? Like, obviously you rode up here in a couple different places now. And down south, it just sounds like it's a completely different type of snow, or like kind of describe it in your way.
The snow here is almost like sand or wet sand. Down there, it's like a bag of sugar.
Really?
Like you put your feet down in it and you just sink. You post hole like a moose. Up here, you can kind of walk on the snow.
You what? What'd you just say?
Post hole like a moose.
I've never heard that one.
We're gonna have to take that as a blooper.
Well, you've never had a moose charge you either. I have.
Dude, but what's funny is people say that our snow is sugar. Like there's like champagne powder.
I think the snow here is definitely, it is easier to ride just because you can hesitate and still get out of that hole.
Yeah.
Down there, if you hesitate, you're done. You're stuck.
Yeah. Especially with the steepness probably
Yep.
too.
Yeah, I think our snow is definitely probably sugarier than like Washington or Oregon or like that like ocean front snow, but definitely I don't know. It does have a base. I feel like we get a base, you know.
Yeah.
But so you kind of like you've been down there a couple times. You went down there this year as well. Last winter when you were down there, though, was like record-breaking snow year, obviously. What was the terrain more difficult? Because in our terrain here with the trees, there's so many down trees and they're laying on each other and stuff. If we don't have a lot of snow, it's hard to ride the trees because you can't hop all the logs and stuff. Was there a bunch of down timber this year that was hard to like navigate in the trees, or was it?
When I was down there this year, there was probably only about 4 foot of snow. It was early season. I mean, you don't get what you ask for all the time.
Yeah.
But it was definitely pretty technical compared to last year just because of the down logs, and you're slipping out on everything. You're hitting rocks, dirt. I mean, you got no traction because it's all powder. It's all sugar yet.
Yeah. So, dude, speak on this a little bit. I don't know if you've thought about this. What were you like? I mean, were you kind of like trying to chest up to like Kesterke and Burandt? Because for those of you who don't know, Marcus effing rips, dude. Like Marcus is a good rider. He's one of the best riders I've ever been around. Were you trying to like chest up to him, or were you like kind of just like, okay, they're better than me? I feel like you could. They're obviously some of the best in the world, but I think you could hang. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of what my whole goal was. I just wanted to hang and not have them pull my ski all day.
Yeah.
But I did get to pull Chris's ski one time.
Yeah. You should have took a video of that.
I know.
At least a picture.
Yeah.
Can we take a selfie real quick?
Yeah.
But no, that was the goal. I went down there and I wanted to learn something, and 2 of the best guys were down there teaching. So
Dude, what are the chances you go the one day that Kesterke's there?
it was pretty dang cool.
Were you like, what? Caleb's coming? When did you find out he was coming?
I think the first day I was down there, Chris kind of spread it out through. He kind of spread it around through the guides, and it slipped out. And I think Blaine might have told me or something. And I was pretty stoked for it. But yeah, he was down there.
Did you kind of nervous?
I was nervous. I mean, I don't want to be the one getting stuck in the back of the pack all day. And I wanted to hang with them, but I think I got it done.
Clientele wise, that they get, are all the riders pretty good, or a lot of them completely new to mountain riding?
I'd say they're all pretty average riders. I mean, they're average to decent riders.
Yeah.
They can hang for the most part, but riding at 12,000 feet isn't easy. So that's what kicks their butt most of the time down there.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, like, because I watched Kesterke. I watched him for a long time, and it was a different Kesterke. It was like an out of breath, which everyone's out of breath up there, I'm sure, but it was just completely different than what I'd seen him do.
You could see him struggling in the snow conditions and in the steepness,
and he even said it.
You know, like, he said it in his YouTube video, but it was like you could just see the struggle a little bit out of him, and it was like not a chink in his armor in any way, right? Yeah. But it was like, wow, okay.
Dude, he was also on a 155 to chaos boost. I mean, that's probably not the ideal weapon down there.
It was pretty neat though, because that was the new sled this year that he was riding last year. 24 boost, and it was funny because he was hooning it coming down this hill.
He was what?
Hooning.
But no, anyways, he was coming down this hill. I don't know what he caught, if it was a stick or a log or something, but went over the bars, The tunnel came down and smacked him in the knee, bent the tunnel on a brand new sled.
Damn.
On his
Did
knee.
it hurt
On
him?
his knee. No, he got up and just walked it off.
Just
I'd still be laying on the hill, I think.
yeah. Yeah.
Catch you guys next year.
Dude, he's strong.
Yeah.
Like
he's a bulky, like built dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell.
Kinda
he
like
can take
me.
a hit. Yeah, exactly. Same body physique for sure.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised you struggle so much on the mountain.
I know. Yeah. But
No, that's an awesome experience. Like, what's the chances that you get to go ride with, like, you're going to ride with one of the greats for sure and, like, you know, test that out. But then the chance that there's another guy there or, you know, another great there. I mean, that's just such an awesome experience and so lucky that you got to, I mean, how many guys were there that got to experience that, you know? I mean, there was not very many people that got to experience that.
I think there was about 7 people there probably. And yeah, it was definitely a one of a kind experience you'll never get again.
Well, and it looked like you got to ride with like those 2 dudes and the camera guy. Like it looked like you were in with the group, like riding with those guys, like 100% of the time it looked.
So the terrain down there, we were climbing like the steepest stuff Chris had down there, I think. And I was just trying to hang with them and everybody else was tired the 3rd day. They didn't want to try and get up the hill.
really.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So speak on this year. What are your goals this year?
I just want to try and run a successful business with AJ. I mean, this year's kind of a bonus year, like we've been saying. We weren't planning on being open this year, but it just happened to be. We got the permits, and now we're open, so I think it should be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about like personally? What is there anything like other than business wise? Like, is there anything personal that you want to like try to accomplish this year on a sled, or is there, I mean, just anything, I guess, what you want to accomplish this winter?
Well, I mean, if it ever snows, I would like to try and 270 flip.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you were talking about that last year.
I really want to try it, but I don't think it's going to happen this year.
You don't?
Maybe if we get some snow.
Yeah.
But the 146 would be definitely the animal to do it on.
Yeah.
I think I was close last year a couple times, but
Like the pictures you recently posted.
yeah, it takes a lot of commitment to go backwards and
Yeah.
Stay with the sled.
stay with the sled. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Kind of get into that, like your sled setup that you got this year and what you're ripping and running.
So I've got 2 sleds this year, both Ski-Doos. One's a 146 turbo, and then the other one's a 54 turbo. And honestly, the first day I was out here riding with AJ, I rode the 146, and I was like, I should never have got this thing.
Dude, that's what I thought when I got mine.
I hated it.
Yeah.
And then I rode the 54 the next day, and I'm like, yeah, it's comfortable, and you can do everything you need to do on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was Wednesday this week, we went out riding again, and I took the 46 back out, and we finally had a base to ride on.
Yeah, dude,
And
exactly.
it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yep.
I think, and that's like we talked about in that one video, the 146 versus the 155. It's so important to have a base on those sleds. Like it just digs and trenches so far if it doesn't have something to grab. Where now at least it can grab something. You know, I think that's super crucial.
Yeah, I felt like line wise on Sunday, I could have pulled anything I wanted to pull on that 46.
Yeah.
In those conditions, obviously, if we added 5 foot of fresh to it, not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, in certain conditions, it was just like an ultra rowdy 155.
Yeah.
You know, but before that, dude, I mean, even talking on the 146 pod before I did Sunday, I'm like, dude, this thing's just like, it's too short. If there's any angle, I'm trenching out so bad. And, you know, with that much power, it's just not ideal. But now I have a completely different mindset on that, dude. It is a lot of fun.
I believe it. That's awesome. So what all do you have done to that sled? Because you put a bunch of stuff on it too.
The 46 is built to the moon. I mean, it's got bomber rails, Hellfire wheels, Speedworks clutching, Diamond S can, Kyber bars, 3D Logic brake lever. What else?
Ski rubbers.
DuraPro ski rubbers.
Yeah.
It's a must.
Yeah, it's a must on them things, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it, though.
Yeah. And then the 154, what all you got going there?
54 is just a clutch kit. That's it.
Is
And,
the 54 wrapped?
Not yet. It will be.
It was black.
That's
in that
coming this
video?
week.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What
pretty
what
sweet.
wrap you doing on that?
Red and chrome.
Red and chrome.
Yep. I'm not a red guy, but I picked red this time.
Dang.
It looks good too.
Yeah.
I saw a little sneak peek tonight. It looks good.
Looks
it's going to be
badass.
awesome.
You got the wrap in.
Yep.
Cool. Arctic Effects.
No, this one's 139.
That's dope. The chrome, I don't know, dude. The chrome looks good in some situations. At least the chrome sled that I got. It's like sometimes it looks good, sometimes it's like, eh. But I think on the snow it looks good.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I'm just excited to get these sleds on the snow. I finally got a wrap coming for my sled.
Oh, you did?
I did finally. I'm excited about that. I'll have to show you a picture.
Yeah.
But
wrap adds like 15 horse, so it's an essential piece.
can't wait. Well, and I mean the way that thing runs,
Yeah.
15 horsepower might make a difference for me, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, I think that's pretty good. I'm glad you were hopped on here with us, Marcus, and I'm glad you shared a little bit of the story there. And I think that's just an awesome experience that you got to go down there and ride with those guys and then kind of go back without those guys this year too and see the full experience. And then we also took a lot of knowledge from Marcus being down there and was able to use that into our business and things that like they do that work really well and just seeing a variety of it. So, I mean, I got a benefit from you going, so that's kind of cool. And then just hearing the stories, but definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, that's another good thing you get out of it, and you can see how other people run their guide company and how they guide. You know, are they pulling skis all day, or are they just there to help and teach? I mean, that's another thing. When you get clients out here and they just expect you to pull a ski all day long, it's like, that's not my job. I'm here to help, but I'm not going to pull your sled out all day long for you.
Yeah. Like you're saying, Burandt, they didn't do that.
They didn't do that. They would if they had to, but they didn't. No. You know, you have a responsibility as a backcountry rider to get yourself out of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got to learn and know how to, they'll teach you how to get unstuck, but you got to learn and do that yourself, essentially. Yep. That's good. And I think that just makes you a better rider all around. And
I can see Marcus out there. Some guys like, can you help me? No, I'm not helping you. This is not my job.
This is the 15th time today.
Yeah.
There's been days like that for sure.
Yeah.
Did he have any trail tours down there?
Nope. He doesn't run no trail tours anymore.
I don't know if
he
I
used to.
It. No.
I think at the beginning, when they first started, they were.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
How long has he been doing that?
God, I don't know. It's been a long time.
Really?
Ever since I've looked up to him, he's been down at Buena Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was doing stuff on
rabbit ears
and out of Crimling there for a long time too. Before that, so
yeah, it's crazy.
No, it's been a minute. That's awesome.
Yeah, he'll definitely go down in my books as the great, or one of the top 2 or 3 greats.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
As of now, we'll see what happens. It's just getting like, dude, you know, we talked about this, like the style of riding, like even him, right? Like, you know, we talked with Eric. It's like he's kind of the one that like started the hopovers and the re-entries, like as a move in that steep terrain.
Yeah.
But it's like you take it like a step further, like Caleb, dude. I don't think those two have even a similar style overall. And maybe Chris did back in the day. He was more like that rowdy type. But Chris is like, seems very calculated, very good in the steep and deep trees. Caleb's just like an Instagram, you know, highlight reel all the time. It seems like.
I think Caleb made it like the Instagram banger, right? Like he made it showy and like look really good in the open hillside and off pillows and stuff like that. Where I think Chris was literally doing those maneuvers to get up the hill, right?
Yeah.
Because think of how far sleds have came down to where he can point, shoot, and go or whatever. But before, I mean, the Axis chassis was a great chassis, but I mean, he probably still had to do some hopovers and re-entries and bow ties and stuff to get where he wanted to go. So maybe that's how that, you know, transpired with him, was he was using those maneuvers as in his tool belt, where now a lot of us just use them as an instant banger. Yeah. But,
well,
I think different terrain and different like atmosphere provides you different opportunities too. You know, like if you flopped where they were at, maybe it'd be a different scenario. You know, I mean, being in Sealy, like he probably doesn't have a shit pile of steep and deep and gnarly trees. You know,
as much.
Yeah. So if that's all you have, that's what you're gonna obviously be the best at, and so on and so forth.
I don't know. I think a lot of like, I mean, we talked about it. It's like the sled's going shorter and shorter now. Remember like 5 years ago, the 165 was like, dude, the 174.
174.
You know, and now it's like 46. Guys are riding 46s and stuff, which is good and bad. But it's like that's what people are like starting to want to do more than go ride steep trees. Like you talk to even to guys around here, the older guys, God, I just love riding trees. I'm the best tree rider in the area, you know, and all that stuff. And a lot of the younger guys are like, yeah, I don't care. Like, you know, like I'm out here to do bow ties and hopovers and, you know, have fun and let her eat.
Yeah. Got to let her eat a little bit.
Yeah.
Her bud.
Well, anything else you want to talk about?
Next topic, I guess.
Next topic, I guess. Dude, real quick, speak about the day in Cali Park that we ended up riding together. To me, that was funny.
Well, me, you, and AJ?
Yeah, and Thomas.
Real quick, like you didn't really know Brent until last winter at all. I mean, I didn't know Brent until last winter at all. But like, we had a lot of really fun. I feel like those couple times we got to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
or I did. Maybe you didn't.
Well, you came out filming that one day.
Yeah.
And then me, you, AJ, and Thomas went out and did a little jump clinic.
Yeah, you guys did a little jump clinic.
We were trying to teach you something, but
he looks at me and says, "I'm gonna send it to the moon," and I'm like, "Oh, what does that mean?" And then boom! I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Why were you pointing the camera so low?
Yeah,
I told you.
Yeah, I'm like, "Dang, dude, that's sick."
No, your commentary in the background of that video just makes me laugh every time I watch it.
Yeah, no, that day was a lot of fun. Yeah. I had fun at least. Like, dude, that was the first day that I just sat behind the camera and kind of filmed. Yeah. There was like 2 clips of me.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of clips of you guys.
No, that was a fun day.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
No, we were rolling out on top of the ridge, and I'm like, God, I think this would be a pretty good jump. And you guys are looking at me like I'm an idiot.
Dude, I thought you were a fish out of water.
What? We knocked this cornice down. And
well, yeah, I figured that would be great, but it's like if I was going to jump 500 yards, I'd rather land on something that has a little bit of a downhill slope.
It was springtime. You don't get that. A little bit of slope, and there was no powder. It was like ice.
Yeah.
That was a brutal landing.
Yeah, dude.
And the bomb holes were getting gnarly there. Like, you had to time your bomb hole almost a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good time, though. We'll have to go out and do it again.
Maybe.
For sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. If we get snow.
If we get some snow.
I'd like to hit some jumps.
Yeah, me too.
We've been scoping out some, too.
Yeah.
Got some ideas.
Dude, I have an idea.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'll have to show it to you next time we're out.
How big?
As big as you want. 5 feet or half mile.
Perfect. Sounds ideal.
Yeah.
Cool. No,
yeah,
awesome.
So more content coming from all of us, and more snow would be nice. But until next time, I mean, I don't have much else to say.
It's snowing right now, too.
Yeah.
And we're going to ride Sunday. All of us are going to ride Sunday, so that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I think that pretty well brings her to a wrap. If you liked what you're seeing, if you want to hear more from Marcus, drop it in the comments. He's going to be out here. He's probably going to be on more, whether you guys tell us not to.
They probably don't want to.
But they probably don't want to.
But no, like, share, subscribe, everything. We've been getting a lot of really good feedback lately. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and the content will continue. So thank you guys. We will see you next week.
Sounds good. Later.